Hey there, it's Maria Gabrielle. Let's talk about gratitude. It's actually beneficial to talk about gratitude, not just on Thanksgiving or once a year or every so often. It's actually really beneficial. Studies show us now, and I'll get into that in a minute. Studies show us that it's really beneficial to tune into it daily, if possible. I know it's like, oh my gosh, am I going to add another thing to my day-to-day to-dos and things that help me out in addition to my supplements and daily tasks, responsibilities, priorities, all the stuff. This actually can be so simple. It could take just a couple of seconds, at most a couple of minutes. And I will share an exercise with you today, but let's just tune in a little more, talk about the benefits, like the why behind, right? So if you just Google benefits of gratitude, you are actually going to pull up so much information that talks about how it's good for your immunity, how it raises academic scores for kids, how it, impacts depression, anxiety, blood sugar, diabetes. I mean, honestly, it goes on and on. That list of benefits of gratitude goes on and on. And here's what's happening. Our studies are now showing that you can actually measure the frequency, the megahertz of gratitude, the actual emission that comes with this emotion. There's an actual frequency, a megahertz. And in fact, gratitude rates the highest on the megahertz scale, right there with love. Love and gratitude have the highest number in frequency in comparison to any other emotion. And then of course we have our lower frequency feelings like shame, guilt, judgment, sadness, anger. Those all impact us in more of a negative way, and can even lead to chronic illness and lower immunity and things like that. So we're not going to touch on those today. Back to gratitude. So we have an awesome study now from the Institute of HeartMath that also shows us that not only is it beneficial to us as individuals on a micro level, it's actually impactful and game-changing on a macro level, like global collective style impact. And what does that mean? Well, basically, since we now know that gratitude has an emission, a resonance, right? And we can measure it with megahertz. We can even measure its resonance through, plugging people in. And it's very similar to how like you measure the wavelength of an echocardiogram from your heart, or the wavelength that's measured on a sheet from your brain, and encephalocardiogram. So, when we can measure these wavelengths, these emissions that are coming from us, we can see like how far they can actually go. And so the study wanted to see how far do they actually go. Like when we emit these gratitude waves, like is there a limit to them? There actually is no limit to them. In fact, we now know that our gratitude resonates out beyond us. It's a game changer, a life changer, a health changer, a work changer for us, but it's also for those around us that we share life with, our loved ones, our co-workers, our teams. So it impacts our work and our life and our relationships, not just our own health and happiness, right? And so if it actually resonates and affects those around us that we share life with and our loved ones, and actually can even impact people from across the globe, from like the US continent all the way to the Australian continent, imagine what a difference it can make from an ecological standpoint, from an eco-conscious standpoint, if we practice gratitude as often as possible. Imagine if we did it daily, right? Here's something else that's really cool. Not only does it impact us individually, and is it a life changer, a success changer, a health changer, it also impacts the globe in addition to everybody around us, right? It also impacts the earth. And we've found info now through HeartMath Institute and Resonance that it can even impact like the plants, the animals, like wow. Just think of that for a second. That's why it's so important. And so if you can do this, if you can practice it as often as possible, ideally set the goal for daily, you actually will hit autopilot. You will do this so habitually, it will start to become something that you do automatically and unconsciously, and it doesn't become one of your to-do things. It doesn't become like that supplement that you have to take or the gym that you have to go to. In fact, I'm now on autopilot with gratitude daily, but not with this one specific exercise that I'm going to share with you in about a second. But what I am on autopilot with, and I get to feel really thankful for that, is that I wake up every single morning. And when I wake up every morning, I look out, I have huge windows and they look out into just acres and acres of land and hills and trees. And I'm super thankful that I get to see that every day, that I wake up to that visual every day, that I'm thankful for God's creation, those trees, the beauty of nature, that I'm thankful to myself, my higher self, for being a yes to this and for making it possible, and to my husband and our combined visions, and, and of course to God. And all of that seriously comes in with my first breath, seconds. Like, it's what I wake up to. It's what I see. And so, I've been able to put that on autopilot. Now, there's an exercise, like I said, an exercise that isn't on autopilot yet, and I'm working on it. And so I'm going to share it with you. And it's an exercise that I kind of got a long time ago, maybe like 10 years ago from Tony Robbins. And I've added my own stuff to it since then and tweaked it. So I'm sharing it here with you so that you can bring it into your own life and start practicing it. Again, it's just a couple of minutes, and all it is with a breath, take in that O2, take in that oxygen. So important to put that into our blood and into our brain. Won't get into the details of the why behind that, but super beneficial. With that breath, any breath, you close your eyes and you just bring to your attention, to your presence, to your mind's eye, the people in your life that you are most thankful for, and you take turns with them. And here's what I mean about that. What that looks like is, so for me, I start off, close my eyes. I also like to put palm over heart when I'm doing it, eyes closed, and I bring my husband to mind. And I think of one thing that I'm super grateful for. Sometimes it's a few things. And I think of at least one thing that I'm genuinely, truly, deeply grateful for to him about. And in my mind's eye, I look through his eyes, I connect with him, I connect with his soul, his spirit, and I share what it is that I'm grateful for. And then I move on to the next person, which is my son, and then my daughter, my parents, my mom, my dad, my brother. Then I move on to my friends, my clients, everyone, guides, mentors, everyone that's changed my life, that's improved my life, everyone that's even challenged my life, and of course, God, my angels, Mother Mary, and my higher self, again, for being a yes to all of that's here in my reality. And so I even connect with my highest self. All of that just takes a couple of minutes, and once I feel complete, I take another inhale in, exhale out, open my eyes into my real space, and then I just kind of, again, just say thank you, thank you, thank you 3 times, and I'm done. And if you want to get bonus points, you can even share what you're grateful for with any of those people that you did it with in your mind's eye in person, in like real time, and imagine what they would feel like if they could hear it with their real ears and process what you just said and hear it from your voice. That takes it to a whole other level. I'm sure they will be so appreciative. And I won't go into this whole other component, which is when we give, how much more we receive exponentially. That I'll save for another video. But just imagine if you were to share your gratitude with at least someone, and just cause, right? How huge would that be for them and for you? And so if you do that, or at least this exercise, and start practicing this, try daily or as often as possible, whatever works for you. I would love to hear from you. Do it at least once and chime back, reply back, and let me know how it was for you. What did that do for you? How did you feel? I would love to hear back from you. And if you have any questions, of course, ask those as well. And until then, I just want to say thank you for being here. I'm so thankful for connecting and crossing paths, and for what it is that you're out there ready to offer, and what you are feeling called to help others with, and whatever it is that you're doing in this world. I just want to say thank you. Thank you for being courageous. Thank you for being a yes to it. We need it. And so I know it takes a lot. And so I just want to say, awesome. Thank you for being you. Thank you for doing you. Thank you for going out there and stepping out of your comfort zone and doing whatever it is that you know will fill your heart and maybe even make a difference in others' lives as well. So thank you for everything that you're doing out there, and have a blessed day and a wonderful holiday ahead. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.